All right, so now in this video what we're gonna do is we're gonna get start to do the feature extraction, which is also called creating the vocabulary list, or we also say it creating bag of words, right? So how can we do that? Before we proceed further, let me show you something. Okay, so here is, let's take 0th element. Okay, so now if you want to understand what feature extraction is, right, so I would highly recommend you, if you can just pause this video and go back and check out this one. This will help you a lot. Okay, if you just watch this one, this will give you a very better clarity. Okay, and then you come back to this. If you don't want to watch, still let's continue, you will understand it. So in feature extraction, what we're going to do is we will pick out the words out of this sentence, and then that will be created as feature. Okay, and then scoring will be done, what we have explained in this particular video, in this video. But don't worry, we are not going to do that very manually. We have the automated options. So like we imported this particular one, this particular module, so that's what we're gonna use over here. For that, we will require to create an object which is called vector. I would say vector, and inside that I'm just going to put this. Now once that is done, next thing which we need to do is vector, and then call this particular method or function, whatever you want to say, right? So and then on top of that I'm going to say extrain, I'm going to call extrain, right? So if you have not converted this extrain into values, I would suggest here you can use values. Okay, but because I have already converted that, so I don't need to use that really. Okay, let's just try to run this. So it is vectorizing it. Once it is done with vectorizing this primarily means is making the fetching the words out of it and making features, right? So that's what it is doing over here. All right, so here it says with this money stored elements in compresses sparse row format, right? So let me just try to put this in something called trained vector. All right, this is something I'm creating a new variable. Okay, and inside that, once it is done, then on that we can see the 0th element, how that element is looking like. Okay, but first we would require to check out what the data type is. Done, then let's just check out the type of this. It says scipy sparse csr matrix. Okay, now let's just try to convert this into array to array. Let's just see what happens here. It says unable to allocate this gigabyte or something. It is turning out to be huge in size for 25,000 things, right? So what I'm going to do is, because this is just for visualization purpose, so I'll take just 50 out of it. Okay, trained vectors, out of this trained vector I'm just going to take 50 elements, and let's just see, this worked. Okay, now out of that let's pick some, or let's just say 50 and this. Okay, this is saying this thing, let's make it this. This is again 0. All right, let me just try 100 or 1000. This is again giving us the 0 element. Okay, let's just try this 40. Anyway, all right, let me just do this. Okay, so this is what it is giving us. We have so we have these values available over here. Let's just try to figure it out. So here we have this vector created. Now that has one method called get feature names, right? Let's just try to see what is it that we have over here. All right, like you can see over here, the reviews which we had available in extrain, here you saw, for example, here we picked one item from the list, training list, right? And that was this whole complete paragraph, right? Now that has been broken down, and that process is called tokenization, right? So that has been tokenized, and this kind of value which we are going to get over here, right? So let's just try to see the length of it. All right, so you got 75,000 plus words, right? 75,000 75,532 features you got. So this is your list of vocabulary, right? This is your bag of words. Now if you want to see some of it, what you can do is, let's just take this int object. Okay, so here, because I have taken length, which doesn't make much sense, right? Now let's do this. All right, so what you see over here is 50, 50 elements are this. Okay, now let me just put this way. Let's see what we have at 500. Okay, now here that makes some sense. After 500 we have all these words, right? So like you can see 20 video, 20x, 20 year, right? All these things that we have over here. Now if you put this, let's just see this. So you are getting 20s. These all are the words which we have. These all are the features which has been created. Now if you want to see if this really exists in the data or not, what you can do is, let's say train data, we're gonna say head, and into that what we can say is review dot str dot contains, and inside that let's put this, and what we see is this. All right, so here we got this sentence which has, we in our training data frame we got one entry which has this particular word 20 minutes. All right, now if you want to, because this is not clearly visible, so what we can do is we have one option which is called pd dot set option, and inside that you can say it is play dot max call width, and let's just put that here equals to 0. All right, here it says equals 0. Oops, there seems to be some worry, some issue. All right, let's just make it comma. This worked. Now when you come down and when you see, now here is what we got. All right, so if you see over here in this whole paragraph, somewhere you would find this 20 minutes written into that. Okay, so it has taken out, like you can see it's right over here, right? 20 minutes. So this is created over here. Now there are two things. If you want, you can start building your model using this part itself, right, from here itself. But if you want, you can make this data more suitable, right? Because these all things doesn't make much sense, right, to come up with a particular sentiment, right? So what we can do is we can think of removing these words, right? If not these, at least we can think of removing the punctuations, we can think of removing the stop words. So let's see in the next video what suits best. We will do that and then we will proceed further. See you in the next video.